You take the high road. Right, there
Indeed.
we go.
So we're live.
We're live at 9 p.m. GMT.
Oh,
So,
that's good.
welcome, Jimmy.
How are we doing,
Are you sure
guys?
that's your real name? You could have done a more Scottish name if you had one, could you?
I know it's people will think it's a fake name, but it is actually my my real name. I normally just go by James, to be honest, but I thought I went with Jimmy on YouTube for shits and giggles, to be honest.
Have you got a nice drink?
I do. For a change, I'm actually on brand. I'm going with
Oh, there you go. Oh,
Iron Brew.
made from Girders.
It doesn't want to focus on it because it's locked on.
Diet.
It's locked on.
It doesn't count if it's diet.
It's diet. It's the sugar-free stuff. It's the sugar-free stuff. It's not the hard.
Bitter.
It's a school night. It's a school night. So speaking of school night, a gentleman as old as us should not be up this late watching a movie on a school night.
9 o'clock on a Thursday, you say?
Ridiculous.
Yeah, madness. That's how we roll here. Rebels without a clue. Right, I'm going to queue up my VHS because it's a pain in the ass. So.
Okay. You tell me when we're good to hit play.
And we get... Oh, are you 18? Hope so. There you go.
18 and then some.
Christ, I'm nearly 3 times 18. Right, there's the Warner Brothers.
Okay, I'll hit play as well.
Now we'll get this offensive film over with.
Yeah, so I suppose we should start off with just asking what is wrong with you and that you don't like this movie. I mean, I know there's many things.
Oh, you found that out with
specifically though, like how can you not like this movie?
I saw this in the cinema, believe it or not. Because I thought, oh, Tony Scott action thriller sold, and then I saw this.
What? Like, surely, I mean, I would venture to say, based on no empirical evidence whatsoever, you're in the minority and that you don't like this movie?
It's going to be very problematic. I'm going to sit here quietly for the rest of the chat, I think, because people are going to come at me, bro. But
Oh, no,
first of all, I'm not a Tarantino fan in the first.
Okay.
I mean, like all of his stuff. That's too much talking about irrelevant stuff.
You prefer like just exposition after exposition after exposition?
Yes. Yeah. I want the story to happen. I don't want to sit here for half an hour waiting for something to happen. As we'll find out at this opening.
This is I mean, there isn't enough time to talk about everything that I like about this movie and everything in one sitting. But I think one of the first things that jumps to mind is the DVD commentary on this. I know you're saying you're not a Tarantino fan, but quite famously, Tarantino doesn't do DVD commentary tracks for his movies, but he did for this one because it's not. He doesn't think of it as his movie. He just he wrote a version of this movie. And then Tony Scott went off and made his movie. So the commentary track on this is like one of the. It's probably not the only one Tarantino's did. It might be. It's definitely, if he's done more, it's not many of them. He's certainly not done any for, I think, any of his movies. But the commentary track on this so he does one, Tarantino does one on his own, and I'm sure Tony Scott does one on his. In fact, it'll say on this. So this is my Region 1 DVD copy. It's got the regular theatrical cut, and I mean, I didn't want to get any penis swinging content already, but so there's the 3 copies. There's the Region 1 DVD. There's the Region 2 UK Steelbook, and then there's the relatively recent Arrow Video 4K.
Oh yes, that one.
Oh, I'm not finished.
Okay. It's time for many copies.
Here is the regular soundtrack that was released on vinyl.
Oh, I forgot you're a vinyl man as well. Here
is the like fancy artwork version of the same album, and then this one is the full score from Hans Zimmer. The other two, hang on, not finished.
No.
And then included with one of those was a tiny wee.
Look at that. That is nice.
Which is a sexy little beast.
It is.
the poster of the movie that came with the Arrow box set is proudly displayed in the hallway, along with other movie posters. And this one, which I'm sure came with the Arrow video release, that's upside down, upside down. Coming Home in a Body Bags, the movie within the movie.
Oh, yes, the Vietnam movie, yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
So anyway, you were showing me the 2 VHS copies for the movie that you don't like.
Yeah, I still collect them.
Let me see. So I didn't realize there was 2 UK VHS.
We got the original release with the original theater cinema version,
Right.
and then you got the widescreen release. It's a very wide film.
I don't think
Maverick directors.
I don't think I ever owned a copy on VHS. I'm sure I rented a copy on VHS.
Oh, what year was this? This was 93, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have been 10 when this came out. I probably didn't see it right away. I probably saw it when I was about 11. I remember not going to see it in the cinema, but I remember seeing it in the video shop. I remember seeing it for sale in Woolworths, in my local Woolworths. If Google Woolworths for anyone who's under 40.
Piece of history.
I think on the VHS, am I right in saying, see the original VHS, is it very much plastered across the front that it's like, Quentin Tarantino's name is on it to sell it?
Not on the widescreen one.
No, on the original one.
On the original one, it says from the creator of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
It doesn't mention his name anywhere.
Being, young and stupid and not knowing, I just saw from the creator of Pulp Fiction. So I was like, oh, I like Tarantino, even though I was far too young to watch Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. I had watched Reservoir. That's actually mental to think about it. I'd saw Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction when I was 10, 12 years old. There's a brilliant story about watching Pulp Fiction as a 12-year-old and not understanding what's going on. But I'll save that. We'll do I'll save that for another video. Anyway, I remember seeing the VHS for this in Woolworths, and from the creator of Pulp Fiction. I was like, oh, I want to watch that. So I don't know if I bought it. I couldn't have bought it because I was 12. But I don't know if I maybe got my brother or my parents to rent it that weekend. At the next to the video shop. But anyway, that's what initially sold me on it. Like, it wasn't like I was a Christian Slater fan. I probably didn't even know who he was. Didn't know who Patricia Arquette was. But I knew who Quentin Tarantino was. Like, as a 10 or 12-year-old, I knew who he was, and I just saw his name above that, and I think like many people, the marketing department would have hoped, I just assumed it was a Tarantino movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think probably when a cinema came out, I think name was all over it, but.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good way to sell a movie that's not a Tarantino movie by saying it is a Tarantino movie because he did write the original script. I think I got way off on a tangent there. I was talking about something else, wasn't I, at the start of that? Yes. So, I was talking about the where is it? Where did it go? So the commentary tracks on this. So Tarantino does one. Let's see what else. Yes, so there's 3. This is on I don't know if this is on the other releases, but this is on the Region 1 DVD. It's got the theatrical cut and the unrated director's cut. More on that later. The commentary tracks, one from Tarantino, one from Tony Scott, and one with Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette.
Okay.
And I have watched those commentary tracks more than once. Like, just that, like, if you like the movie, you like the commentary tracks. But if you're interested in how just filmmaking in general, the track from Tarantino is a brilliant track just about writing a movie and structure and how a movie can change when it goes from one writer to another writer to a director. Like Tarantino talked on that commentary track about how there's 3 different versions of True Romance. There's the version he wrote. There's the version that was kind of rewrote for Tony Scott. And then there's the version that Tony Scott made, and he very much 3 different movies. And Tony Scott's track on it is great as well, because I wish they'd done the commentary track together, because hearing both those master filmmakers talking about a movie would have been amazing. But anyway, the commentary tracks are probably it's probably the best commentary track I've ever listened to for information and how the film's made. The best commentary track for just if you want to laugh is any track that Arnold Schwarzenegger does, because he just basically describes what's happening and laughs. His commentary track on on Conan. It's just him describing what happens and then laughing. Just,
this is where I pick up the sword. Eh?
I mean, clearly you've watched it and listened to it because that's pretty much what he does.
Once or twice. But right, there's people ripping me apart in the chat already.
Let me get the pop-out chat so I can see it as well.
But yes, Eggplant, which was improvised by what's his name, Dennis Hopper.
I didn't know that.
Yes, this film is 2 hours and 1 minute. Unfortunately, Mockingbird, yes, I don't like this film. I gave it a rewatch last night just to see if I changed my mind. But all right, I'll go through what I don't like. Patricia Arquette is one. Hans Zimmer score is another.
Oh no!
I love Hans Zimmer. I could listen to Interstellar and Inception or anything Gladiator all the time, backdraft, but I can't stand this one.
Wow.
Yes. The fact the best characters get killed off or disappear in the first half, which is Gary Oldman and Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken. I don't like any of the characters in LA.
Yeah.
We'll see what else we get to.
I'll agree with you that they are the best characters. I don't think them getting offed is a bad thing. I think that's done on purpose. Like I think they knew people are loving these characters, so let's use that as a way to subvert the audience's expectations. But yeah, I'll allow you 1 point that that those characters are better than the LA characters. I'll give you that one.
One. There we go. I've got 1 point.
Everything else you said is utter shite, but I'll give you that one. I was trying to keep this PG in case any of the kids watch it, but that's gone.
Yeah. See, as you're not streaming it to your channel, you gave up being nice, right?
I was like, that's I can't have no good time to get organised, and because as soon as you said, "Do you need to do your own thumbnail?" I was like, "Oh, I can't be bothered now."
I don't like. Yeah, because we are 10 minutes in, and what has happened? Got this rough ass whore turn up. Right.
We didn't even let him talk about the actual scene. With a pre-fame Sam Jackson.
Yes, his first Tarantino-ish role, I guess.
Yeah.
Allegedly got him Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Now, he must have made this back to back with Jurassic Park, or maybe even shot his Jurassic Park stuff first.
Yes, I guess he would have, because
they were both the same year, weren't they?
Yeah, 93. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was.
I am in the minority. I understand that there is a lot of love for this film. Bad Boys, The Crow Girl. Oh, hang on, what's this? Mike Myers. Bad Boys, The Crow Girl. Can't remember her name. A lady from both. Who's in this? Are there any other women in this? It's a very offensive film.
Yeah,
lack of diversity.
It's a Tarantino film. The Chris Walker Dennis Hopper scene is like, if you were to list the best scenes in movies of all time, that's got to be up there. But not according to Gareth. Come on. You admitted those characters are two of the best characters.
Yeah, they just talk about nonsense, though.
Well, if anyone in the chat agrees with Gareth, please do come to his defense. But
if you're not scared of all the hate you'll get.
I don't think anyone is. But I feel your pain, though, because I recently did a video where I had a different take than the vast majority of the public, and the internet did not disappoint. To be fair, the YouTube audience was fairly professional and reserved, and respectful.
Okay, nice.
It was the TikTok audience that basically was throwing grenades at me. So if anyone wants to see my scathing review of Dune 2, and you want,
oh yes, you hypocrite. I'll get in the sex scene, if you can call it that.
Did you want more like hardcore porn or something?
I wanted Dong from Christian Slayer.
Yeah, he's not going to hang Dong.
He is the only decent thing about this film. So, and he's still annoying when he talks about Elvis.
I think he walks a fine line. Like I can see why people might think his character is annoying, but I think he walks a fine line. But for me, I think he falls on the right side of that line. I think most people would agree, but yeah, I think he's definitely you can imagine like Tarantino being just like that, but Tarantino doesn't look like Christian Slater, so
No, that is there. Yeah, people were saying it should have been like Steve
it
Buscemi or something playing
yeah,
a nerdy comic book guy who knows all about Elvis and videos and comic books. But yeah,
that
Sonny
would
Chiba on his own in the cinema. I think Christian Slater, even looking like this, could get a date quite easily.
yeah. I think they've tried to they've given him that stupid haircut. They give him the stupid Hawaiian shirt. They've tried to like make him ugly, but he's not an ugly guy and he's not an uncharismatic guy. So him playing this kind of like nerdy, dorky character. If it, like you said, if it was a Steve Buscemi, I don't think people would be as endeared to this as they are.
No, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because Christian Slater is cool, I suppose, even with Elvis glasses or old lady glasses, whatever they are. But yeah, Val Kilmer is credited on this. But they couldn't call him Elvis. They had to call him, was it Mentor in the credits, just in case they got sued. Hey, Mike. Mike Z.
He's
Two
not
legends. Is that Christian Slater and Jimmy?
Yeah.
Because I don't like Drive either. So
I'm kind of on the fence with Drive. To be honest, it's not. I think it is a little bit overrated. I do like the soundtrack. That's actually up there.
Yes.
Can you see it up there? Like up there is a whole bunch of soundtracks.
Is your hand? I can see your hand you drawn doodle on.
above that hand, you'll see a bunch of vinyl records.
Oh yeah, I see them.
So Drive is among them somewhere. Yeah.
So yeah, if this whore turned up, I'd want my money back or give their money back. So
that's a harsh take.
I know the whores of Western Superman in Glasgow are probably a bit rougher than her, but
I would imagine. What's Walking Bug saying still gives me chills as Hopper's cigarettes runs.
Yeah, it's obvious. He's done for.
Yeah,
and he knows it. So they both played it well.
It's funny because you're saying everything that's good about that scene, but then you say you don't like the scene.
It's a very short minute of the scene I like. Christopher Walken comes in, and then Christopher Walken goes out.
Yeah,
job done. Doesn't need 10 minutes of talking about how the Sicilians came about, which is based on a true story of someone telling Tarantino, and he just kept a mental note of it, saying that'll be useful in a film one day.
Yeah, he talks about that in the commentary. Actually, like he goes into quite a lot of detail. He talks about the guy who was kind of like it's been a good few years, if not longer, since I've watched and listened to his commentary, but I'm sure he talks about it was like almost like a stepfather type figure in his life.
Something like that, I think it said,
told that story and talked like that, and he'd obviously, like you said, he made a mental note of that, and then put it in one of his scripts.
Are you going to be reciting the quote as it plays here?
I've got the subtitles on, so
I just might be a problem.
I could crop I'll I mean, you're the host of the stream, so I'll
do it.
I'll allow you that privilege.
I'll do my Tarantino impression.
One of the things that just popped into my head as well, from the commentary track, from Tarantino's commentary track, his original script, like the timeline was split up in a more kind of traditional, like Tarantino type way. He had 3 acts of the movie where he talks about how in the first act the characters know more than the audience, so he kind of starts with the third act, and then goes to the first act, and then goes to the second act, kind of like he did with Pulp Fiction and with the movies. But the way he talked about that was like when the first act, the audience doesn't know what's going on, the characters know everything, and then by the time you come to the third act chronologically, which is the first act, like in the movie, the audience knows more than the characters do. And then he says he remembers when he met with Tony Scott. Tony Scott said, "I love the script, but the timeline thing, we need to get rid of that and just have it, beginning, middle, and end." And one of the things Tarantino says, I think towards the end of his track, he talks about, I mentioned, obviously, he talked about it being a Tony Scott film. It's his version of the film. He says he does for the film Tony Scott made. He completely agrees with Tony Scott, but for the film he wanted to make, he obviously agrees with himself because
because spoilers, Clarence dies in Tarantino's version.
Yeah,
There's no happy ending.
Yeah, there's
But he still has a kid. She still has a kid, I think.
yeah. The have you seen the unrated cut?
I don't know which is. Well, I saw the Blu-ray cut. Which is the unrated cut? I guess it's longer than the 2-hour cut.
Yeah. So does it say how long it is on the
Because the VHS is cut for violence, but then it's in the Blu-ray cut.
Yeah. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Hang on. Yes, here we go. Michael Myers is correct. Doesn't have one single likable character in the whole film. Not just me then. Halloween age 7 for Mockingbird. Well,
Yeah.
some of these things you just click with, don't you? At a young age.
This is parenting up in Scotland. Try to see if it gives you
Anna Levine was in this, and Bad Boys. Saw her in The Unforgiven. I thought I reckoned. I was trying to think because I thought it was Marge Hellenberg from bloody Species or CSI.
The blonde.
I was trying to think. That's not her, but who is this bird? And there's Samuel L. Jackson, barely recognizable, in a hat and glasses.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that scene was at the start.
UK videos are all R-rated versions. There you go. I love this film, though I've not seen it in 10 years. Sadly, no novelization for this movie. That's a good point. I don't know if, apart from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, if Tarantino's films get novelizations.
I'm sure I've got a Reservoir Dogs one.
Related to that,
on the bookshelf. I've got the novel they did for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I'll probably never read it.
Yeah, I was going to say Kurt Russell is the key commentary track laugher. He is great, but he's always distracted by what's going on.
Yeah. The commentary tracks Kurt Russell does with John Carpenter on their various movies, they're always a good laugh.
They're just. Yeah. He's having a time of his life. I don't listen to them, but I used to love comic tracks back in the early days. Yeah, I don't have time to listen to them much these days, but
yeah,
I used to listen to film, then watch the commentary, watch all the set features.
That's exactly what I did. I remember the first DVD player I had access to was in my brother's office, so it was just like it was on his computer, like so it was it was an old school 14-inch CRTV computer monitor. So you're watching a widescreen DVD on a 14-inch square monitor. You're essentially watching it on a screen essentially the size of like a 10-inch iPad. But I remember being really excited for DVDs and all the special features. And I think he had a stack of DVDs in his office. One of them was American Pie. One of them was Fight Club. So I remember just watching them and then watching the commentaries and watching all the special features and being like, this is amazing. This is this is teaching you how to make movies,
Yeah. I think I had a lot of time on my hands. I was doing some computer work somewhere and I watched all 3 extended versions of Fellowship of the Rings commentaries.
Yeah.
When that green box set came out.
Yeah. I've got that through in the living room. Those DVDs are still, God, that's 20 years later. But the DVD, in terms of behind the scenes documentaries and commentary tracks and special features, they're still the benchmark. I don't think they've been topped in terms of because it's not just about quantity, even though there's lots of them, but it's the quality. Watching the Lord of the Rings extended edition making of documentaries, it makes you you feel like you're part of the movie, and I know that sounds cheesy, but that's what it was like.
Yeah. I don't feel like I'm watching a movie. I feel like I'm watching a script. There you go. See,
that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I nearly did a poll of Arquettes because there's Rosanna, Patricia, whatever was in Wedding Singer, and another one. And David Arquette from Scream.
Yeah, David Arquette
from 4 actors. I think there's a 5th as well.
The singer from Wedding Singer. What's his name or their name?
And then the dad was also an actor. He's in Scream 2 as the sheriff. He's done a lot of other stuff.
That's interesting. There you go.
That's
what the unrated cut versus the director's cut. This is probably the theatrical cut versus the unrated director's cut. This is one of the very, very few ones where I think I prefer the theatrical cut, and it's not just because it's the first one that I saw, but we'll talk about it again when it happens. But one of the main differences that I remember between the theatrical and the unrated cut, the very, very end, when it's the shootout in the hotel room, in the theatrical cut, it's the bad guy gangsters who kill Chris Payne.
And yeah,
But in the unrated director's cut, it's Patricia Arquette that shoots him.
yes.
And as soon as she does that, you're like, well, she's a bad guy because she's just
she's just killing a cop because I think she thinks he's the one that shot.
Yeah,
Each person that gets killed she thinks is the one that killed or
Yeah.
shot him in the eye.
I think her doing that kind of changes your sympathy for her. If you had any to do with. But I think so I think that's one of the few ones where I actually prefer the theatrical cut, because I think by having her not kill that cop, it's she remains a good guy, but then she's killed a cop, and the cop he wasn't a dirty cop or anything like that. He was
he was just
he was doing his job. It's a drug deal. It's a drug deal. People have guns. He wasn't. So he didn't. I think his character, I don't think he deserved to die. So having Patricia Arquette's character kill him is like, ooh, okay, well, maybe you should go to jail.
yeah. And then she gets off with a happy ending with all her money, don't they?
Yeah. So I think having her protecting her character's innocence, so to speak, I think is the better move. So whichever studio exec or whoever made that call, well done.
So yeah, I'm not a fan of pretty much most of Tarantino's work. So there you go.
It's hard to kind of take that. It's because it's such an over quoted line now. Like I literally the other day said that line as I had a cheeseburger. I think it's like it's transcended its own.
Its own
movie.
Can you imagine how sick the French are when Americans turn up at a McDonald's and say, "A Royale with cheese, please," and they say, "What? There's Big Macs here, mate."
I think the French were sick of Americans before Pulp Fiction came along.
But they saved them from the Germans,
and they don't let them forget it.
I saw this in the cinema. So I didn't see Reservoir Dogs in the cinema. I saw Pulp Fiction all the way up. Death Proof was the one that was the final nail in the coffin for me of watching his stuff in the cinema.
Yeah, I mean, I think the world would agree that Death Proof is definitely the worst of, and a blip in Tarantino's filmography. I wasn't actually, again, the unpopular opinion, I wasn't a huge fan of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, it was way too long. Like
I was enjoying the aesthetic and the look of 60s LA that they recreated, but then as soon as the violence happened,
I was kind of
checked out.
I was kind of the opposite. I was like, how many minutes are we going to spend watching this car drive around looking at billboards? Like,
kill someone for
I really like those two characters. I just wanted to see them in a different movie. Like,
yeah, that would have been good. Oh, here we go. So yeah, I don't think Ullman hadn't read the script, and Tony Scott said it's a white guy that thinks he's a Jamaican gangster. He said, "Yep, I'll do it."
Yeah,
because he was doing JFK at this time and stuff like that.
I was going to say, was he even a known actor at this point?
Yeah, because in Britain he was.
Yeah. What was his like?
Sid and Nancy and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, that's yeah, Sid and Nancy. Yeah.
That was mid-80s, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm just checking to see how in sync we are.
But yeah, I was
pretty much.
My woke channel won't support this film because of the cultural appropriation in it, but can't have dreadlocks. Yeah, I forgot until I saw his name in the titles.
Yeah. Wait, what's the San Andreas connection?
Yeah.
There's a nod to this
porno on TV where a big black woman's getting her tits felt out. It looks like by Burt Reynolds.
So you need to pause it because you're streaming it, but I have it on my screen here.
I think I'm there. Yep, there it is. You are the only one who was John from Christian Slayer.
I don't know. I think
back when this came out, I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't name the person, but there's someone who's like in my close circle who is a huge fan of Christian Slayer. So that this person would also want that. I'm going to stop saying that.
I love Heathers that.
I name a name by mistake.
Used to buy DVDs, mostly for the commentary tracks. Yeah, if it had an awesome soundtrack, like you say, with Kurt Russell and John Cameron, James Cameron. No, John Carpenter.
Cameron's another one who famously doesn't do commentary tracks for
Yeah, he doesn't do fucking anything about them. Ruin 4K, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've watched a few of those videos today.
Yeah, True Lies is not looking promising.
Yeah. He did one. He did a much like Tarantino did with this. He did a commentary track on Solaris with Steven Soderbergh.
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Cameron,
why is he doing that? Of all the films he could do.
Yeah, I'm sure he was a producer on that. So again, listening to a commentary. So Solaris is it's not a terrible movie, but it is a slow movie. But
yeah, like, not as slow as the Russian version, is it?
Yeah, no, so it's the remake with Clooney.
George Clooney, yeah. It was a bomb. Steven Soderbergh did that one, didn't he? Because yeah.
So the commentary track is Soderbergh and James Cameron, and like just listening to them talk about how they make movies is again like is a filmmaker's dream. Like if you're interested in how movies are made, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
So yeah,
but that's a good point. Is there any
Jackie Brown, and that's because it's an Elmore Leonard book rather than a Tarantino thing.
I remember watching that for the first time, having watched and been a fan of Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. I remember the first time I watched Jackie Brown. Would it have been in the cinema? I think I would have probably been still too young to get into the cinema.
Or was probably wasn't 18 back in 97.
97, so I would have been
96. Yeah.
Yeah, if it was an 18, I definitely didn't get to see it in the cinema because the first 18 I
think Tarantino was instantly an 18 back then.
Yeah. The first 18 I got into was Blade, which was 98, because that's like a core movie memory for me. Was my first 18 movie that I got into when I would have been 14, I think, maybe 15.
But you still had your beard.
I didn't know. I didn't have the beard.
Just slack.
One of these days, I'm going to mention a movie that you won't have to hand.
There's hundreds, millions I don't have, but yeah, sometimes I get lucky with popular ones.
Michael,
now I've offended Larry. Sorry, Larry.
Michael
Stone Cold over.
Drive was only a 15. Sorry, Jackie Brown was only a 15. Maybe I did see that.
Anyway. I don't know there's much violence in there, is there? It's just, I guess, it's swearing.
I remember seeing that for the first time and not liking it that much because I was expecting another Reservoir Dogs or another Pulp Fiction. So I think
everyone was very
disappointed. I remember being a little bit disappointed, but then when I watched it maybe a few years later, I think as I'd got a little bit older, I really appreciated it for what it was. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. And now I would say it's probably top five Tarantino.
Yeah, I like Elmore Leonard books like Out of Sight and the other stuff he's done. I can't think of LA Confidential.
Yeah, that was cool. The thing they did with Michael Keaton, having them play the same character in both movies.
Yes, that was very clever.
Like,
so where did this come in? 1993. How popular was it? It was the Beverly Hillbillies did better. Turtles 3 did better. Or have I missed it? How the hell did Turtles 3 do better than Carlito's Way?
I was literally going to say that. How did Turtles 3 do better? I did see that in the cinema.
I must have missed it. Surely it's not in the hundreds. I mean,
I might have told this story before, and it's nothing to do with True Romance or indeed Tarantino. But but you mentioned Turtles 3, so Jurassic Park was probably still my favorite film of all time. I saw that 7 weeks in a row in the cinema. Like every Friday night, my dad and I would go to the cinema. And saw Jurassic Park 7 weeks in a row. The 8th week rolls around, and we're going to go to the cinema, and my dad's like, "Okay, what do you want to go and see?" And I'd say Jurassic Park, and he's like, "No, saw enough. Pick something else." So we went to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time. So we saw that, and we came out, and then my dad said to me, "Yeah, we should have just saw Jurassic Park again."
Are you saying Jurassic Park for the 10th time is better than Turtles 3 for the first time?
Yes,
that's back in time one, isn't it?
Yeah, Turtles in Time is where they go back to 1,000 years in feudal Japan. I actually did almost a complete Turtles movie marathon with the kids a week or two ago, maybe a month ago when it was half term. We got as far as Turtles 3, and it got 10 minutes into it, and the whole family were going to look at each other. and we're just like, why are we putting ourselves through this? Let's just everyone knows this is a bad movie. Let's just go to the next.
Vanilla Ice doesn't turn up.
Yeah. So we watched Turtles 1, we watched Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. We started Turtles 3, gave up after 10 minutes, and then just skipped to the first live action CGI.
The two Michael Bay ones then.
Yeah,
and then
which I quite like. Yeah, like a lot of people weren't a fan of the Michael Bay produced CGI live action ones.
Yeah.
I thought they were pretty decent. Like I like the character.
Yeah, I watched them, but yeah, I still don't like the look of the turtles.
That's what everyone says. My
look right.
The middle child, Zach, my boy, he calls them the buff turtles because they're like Jack. He's like, I don't like them. They're too buff. They look like the bodybuilders. I don't like them.
Yeah. So yeah, as Sean and Mockingbird say, Alabama is mentioned in Reservoir Dogs.
That's right.
Someone else in a minute. I think there's a couple of mentioned someone else. Yeah. So what is it? The original script of this True Romance was separated into two films. There was this film, and then the story was going to continue, and that was made into another film
called Reservoir Dogs.
No. Well, Tarantino had the choice of making this one or making Reservoir Dogs, and he chose Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
But the other story with this, apparently, what I heard today, is that the story was gonna turn into Natural Born Killers.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, yep. I remember that now. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think Tony Scott gave British Arquette the purple car from this as a present when they finished.
That's a cool car. I would take that car.
Yeah, and I think with the $10,000 that Quentin Tarantino was paid for this script, he bought the car that's in Pulp Fiction. I can't remember what it's called now. I think it's Travolta's car in that one.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm almost sure I remember him talking about the money that he made from selling True Romance is the money he was going to use to just make his, like, super, super low budget version of Reservoir Dogs. Before his producing power, before Lawrence Bender,
Lawrence Bender
he convinced them to wait so that they could raise money, and then they eventually raised something like 500,000 or close to $1 million, and then Harvey Keitel came on as a producer and whatnot, and then I think the shooting budget was closer to $1 million or something like that on Reservoir Dogs. But
still low budget, but it looks a lot better.
He talked about how he was just going to, he was going to make Reservoir Dogs just with the 10, 20, 30 grand that he made from selling the True Romance script.
Yeah. So we've got Tony Scott style, because it's a bit different in this, because you go from Top Gun, Days of Thunder, to this, and then you end up with like stuff like Man on Fire, which is many editing choices.
Yeah. Are you not a fan of Man on Fire either?
I don't mind it. It does give me a headache sometimes if I watch it because it's all over the shop. I do like that one better than the original.
Wait, there's an original Man on Fire?
Yeah, there's an 80s version called with Scott Glenn as the Creasy.
Did I know that? I don't think I knew that.
Not many people do.
That's why I'm here. Wait, what's it called? Is it called Man on Fire as well? Yeah,
it's called Man on Fire. Have a look. 1986 or 88.
Scott Glenn.
But yeah, now talking of Tony Scott style, because he sort of rips himself off with Enemy of the State, where it has a massive shootout in one room with a load of gangsters and a load of cops.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, there's ripping yourself off, and then there's like, okay, well, how many movies have gangsters and cops in a shootout in a room? There's only so many letters in the alphabet. You're like,
there you go. He's got the region 1 black and red one. Bumpers here. Oh, there you go. Son of a bitch is right. Tastes like a Gundam peach. Yeah, Dennis Hopper. That's him. Poor bastard.
So what did you say you saw this? Did you say you saw this in the cinema?
I did. So when did this come out? I don't think we were too far behind. Oh, it was number 91 in the worldwide box office, just behind Madonna's Body of Evidence, and just ahead of Weekend at Bernie's 2. So if that makes it.
Wow.
And behind Jason Goes to Hell and Sidekicks with Chuck Norris.
Sidekicks.
Hey, Ray.
I think I know.
I'm watching the UK VHS here and the Blu-ray here. And I'm guessing, what are you watching? The Blu-ray or the 4K or the many Blu-rays?
I'm watching the UK regular Blu-ray so that I could keep in sync with you. Plus, I don't have a like a 4K player in my wee studio office. So that's just that's plugged into the DVD player. Yeah.
So,
in fact,
Kenton, it does include True Romance in his box sets of his work, unlike Natural Born Killers, which I understand since Stone rewrote a lot of it. Yeah, he doesn't like that one. I was told he doesn't mind this one, but he would have preferred his ending.
I would imagine
that
Tarantino box sets are the studios decide what's included as opposed to Tarantino himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got the novelization as well, only in paperback.
Ooh, have you read it? Is it any good?
No, I haven't read it yet.
I didn't know it's not good.
Well, I'm currently reading racist stuff, so.
I must bring it back up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because doing that bank holiday Monday, so I got some research to do. Yeah, that's it. The thing, the Carpenter's all serious, and Kurt's just pissing himself laughing.
Yeah. There's that one.
Trying to get on with it.
That one, the one for Escape from New York, and the one on what do you call it? Big Trouble in Little China. I remember watching.
Yeah, I heard those in the past when I had those. So this came out. When did this come out? September 10th, 1993 in the United States. And October 15th, 1993 in the UK. Also known as True Romance.
Wait, what was also known as True Romance?
This film. For some reason it says also known as True Romance. There it is. I wondered if this actress is the one that was the the maid in 2.5 Men.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but
she's she's Richie's agent or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what's this supposed to be set? Because he's talking about having a part in T.J. Hooker, which was 1983 to 7. But everything else is modern, isn't it?
Who knows? Maybe in Tarantino's fiction. I mean, in Tarantino's fictionalized universes, Hitler was
T.J. Hooker's probably still going in his universe.
Alive, so in Tarantino's True Romance universe, T.J. Hooker went on for 20 years.
Now, have you checked out the Crow trailer? I have not, because I don't watch trailers anymore. They just ruin shit.
I've not. I'll watch it at some point tonight. Yeah, I talked about the stills that were released on a podcast that I did with Andy Electric Geek.
Oh yes.
So that's on the channel. Check it out. So we talked about that. I think. Yeah, I'll wait and see what the trailer looks like. I think a lot of people were kind of I don't want to say offended by the images because that's a bit harsh, but yeah, people by and large didn't seem to be too kind.
They don't like modern punk rockers either.
But I was like, it's that's probably what the modern version of a punk rocker looks like. If the Crow, I talked about this on that podcast, if the Crow original one didn't exist and they made it, this year, and they dressed him like Brandon Lee, the leathers and the white face paint, they would be like, why does he look like that? That's weird.
Because it's awesome.
If it didn't exist, the modern version of that wouldn't be that. It would probably be the way the guy looks, the way Bill Skarsgård looks in those images. Who knows? I mean, we'll watch the trailer. It's it's got an uphill battle. It
has. Yeah, it was slated. Everyone slated that image, but some people are coming around with the trailer, I believe. So that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
I don't bother. I'll watch it eventually, but probably not in the cinema. I don't know. Are you going to go see Ghostbusters over Easter?
Literally talking with my partner about that seconds before I ran in here to quickly turn on the camera.
Well, that's why you were late.
Yeah. we were having dinner and we were talking about that because that comes out next Friday. We have all of our kids that Friday, so we'll hopefully go and see that. So if if any of the kids are
Oh, so
watching.
yeah, Good Friday. It's a bank holiday, isn't it?
Is it?
It comes out. Is it Good Friday comes out, or is it next Friday?
No, it's the Friday before.
Ah, shit. So I can't go.
Friday, 22nd, 23rd. So yeah, so like we're like hopefully going to go and see that the day it comes out.
Yeah, I might have to wait to word of mouth to see if I can be bothered. But yeah, I asked my son, and he wasn't interested in going to see it. He's 10, but I'm sure he liked Afterlife and he liked the original. But yeah, he wouldn't watch them again because he doesn't watch films.
Ah, no,
Although he wants to see this wild robot that's coming out.
I don't know that one. What was that one?
Yeah, it's some story about a robot out in the woods and it befriending animals, and then obviously people come in and cause trouble.
Ah,
I
no,
think shreds them. Yes, Revenge with Tony Scott was a Kevin Costner film. Yeah, that was before this. That was 1990. Was that before or after Days of Thunder?
I think that was just before Days of Thunder.
Yeah, and was it Anthony Quinn? Yes, Madeline Stowe, I think, is the woman he falls for, but
Madeline Stowe.
It's not one I've enjoyed.
I don't think it's one of Tony Scott's most well-liked movies. Like, it's not.
No,
I mean,
it's not. I don't know.
It's not a bad movie, but it's
out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's not going to bother his top 5 or even his top 10. That's an interesting one, a Tony Scott ranking. That would be cool.
So he gets screenplays all the way to your best.
All the way.
Oh, see, Cara's not nothing good about it. Yeah, I remember it being a good movie. I just remember it not being that special. Alexis Arquette has passed away. Oh, I did not know that.
Alexis Arquette, that's his name.
Yeah, there's zero interest in the Crow remake. I'm not a big fan of the original. I do like it, and I saw that in the cinema. I know it's a pre-Halloween film.
Yeah, I am. I am a big fan of the original, and I have seen all of the sequels. And they're all bad. So, you know.
Oh yes, I wiped those from my mind. Yeah, because there's like what's his face? Edward Furlong's in one.
Edward Furlong. There's one with that guy who was in ER for a while. Goran Ivanišević, I think.
Something like that. A spy game, I don't mind. Yeah, that's a good one.
There's another one with another dude. Yeah, they're all like, they're all not good. They're all not good.
To quote you, pish, I'd say.
They're all pish. In the script, it's called The Mentor, but I always like.
Yeah, they couldn't. It's obviously Elvis, but they couldn't. They were scared to use the name in case they got sued, so they just called him Mentor. He's never referenced as Elvis. He just has a gold jacket on and talks like Elvis.
Yeah, I think I remember the first time I watched it, being like 10 or 12. The concept of him being imaginary didn't like occur to me, so I was like,
yeah.
I was like, why does no one else see his friend who's wearing the shiny jacket? I remember thinking that. I was like,
is he just sneaking in?
Why did we never see his face? Like, I kept thinking like maybe there was something wrong with the copy I was watching. Like maybe it was cut off or something because you never see his face properly,
Yeah, he's just like, it sounds like Val Kilmer. I've upset Jeff again. He loves Death Proof.
Someone
likes being bored for 2 hours.
That's
you get Elizabeth Winstead in it in a cheerleader costume, and you ditch her for most of the film. So what's the fucking point?
A pattern in the things you like and dislike in your movies.
Yeah, see, one of the best actors alive.
He is.
He's very versatile.
He is that. He's been going a long time as well, and he doesn't look that old.
No. I can't remember something recent he's done. I'm trying to think now.
He played Churchill.
Churchill is the only one I was going to say.
Yeah. But even that was probably 5 years ago.
Yeah, Tinker Tailor Spy. That must be about 10 years ago now.
Yeah, that's probably 10 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. There you go. So 47 minutes in, something's happening. We've got a couple of gangsters turn up.
Hang on.
Yeah, Ullman said this is one of his favorite roles. That's very true.
I'm going to try.
Yeah, done in 5 minutes, if that.
Yeah, there we go. I'm back in sync.
Am I that far behind that we're at Drexel? They're just quoting Pulp Fiction at the moment.
Yeah.
and this and every other Tarantino film. Ah, there you go. The GTA connection. Ben and Jackson Ben Coppers. I'm guessing that's the American version of Ben Coppers.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah,
I remember.
4 Rooms. I remember that coming out because was it Tarantino directed one segment?
Yeah,
People thought that's his career over.
yeah. I mean, would you include that in his filmography then?
I
Like,
don't think he does.
no. And then would you include like the 10-minute scene of Sin City that he directed?
Aye.
Yeah. Another tangent story about that one. Tarantino was in Glasgow one time. This is a good maybe 15 years ago.
I thought that was rough.
There was a screening of Death Roof. It was when Death Roof was out, so he was promoting that, and I think it coincided with the Glasgow Film Festival, which is run about February time. So I went to a screening of that, and where he was doing a Q&A after it, and I'm like a young wannabe filmmaker, so I'm like nervous and anxious, and I'm like, I need to ask a question. I need to ask a question. So I thought long and hard. If I get the chance, like to stand up in the audience and grab the mic and as part of the Q&A, what question will I ask Quentin Tarantino? So Sin City had been out, a year or two prior, and I loved it. So I thought, I'm quite into like the tech side of stuff, and he quite famously didn't like digital, but he shot on digital for Sin City. So I thought, I'll ask him about that. I'll say, what was it like shooting on digital, and would you consider using it for any future any of your future movies now that you've shot using it? And I was thinking that's a decent enough question that will get a decent enough reply. And he said, no, and then moved on. I spent not hours, but I thought long and hard about what question to ask Tarantino at the Q&A. Asked my question, took my shot, and I got a one-word answer, and then he moved on. I was like, oh, god damn it.
Well, I guess that's better than asking, what was it like making Reservoir Dogs? Or something daft like he always gets. Yeah. Like, will Samuel L. Jackson be in your next film?
Yeah, and it wasn't like it was like dry or quiet with the crowd. He just clearly wasn't interested in talking about like shooting on digital, because he was quite chatty with everyone else's question. He spent a good 5 minutes. Well, it's probably telling for Tarantino, but he spent a good 5 minutes talking to someone who asked a question about the lap dance scene in Death Roof. So it's like
TNA every time.
Yeah, like that dude got like a detailed 5-minute answer, and I got no. That's my Tarantino story. Tarantino story.
Well, so far, so I still hope.
You never know.
Yeah, I've never seen Killings. I remember that coming out around the time of all the Tarantino clones, and I know he was producer on that or something.
He was again, much like
executive producer, so it's just name only or something.
They kind of marketed it almost like a Tarantino movie because it
is almost like a Tarantino. I think is it Roger Avery? Who's the one he normally?
Yeah. So he's a credited writer on Pulp Fiction, so they're very much from their
he's uncredited on this one.
From the makers of Pulp Fiction, from Killing Zoe, and then you watch it and you're like, really?
Yeah, see you. Jeff loves all these films. A lot of fan. Oh, yeah, can't stand Man on Fire. Just give me a migraine. Yeah, don't mind the Scott Glenn version. There you go. That's because Man on Fire just is too much. Same with Natural Born Killers with all its different film stocks. It's erratic editing. It's not one you can sit down and concentrate on what's going on.
I love all that stuff. I'm a tech geek when it comes to film stocks and digital and all that stuff. So that's very much in my wheelhouse. So I get why that gives you a headache. I want that headache.
It's very clever, and it probably took a lot of time, but it's a distraction.
Have you ever heard of fan edits? And back in the day, did you ever check out fan edit?
I've never watched one, but
so this was like
3 Star Wars films into one and stuff.
Yeah, that's what it'd be like a good 10 or 15 years ago again. So fanedit.org, I don't know if it still exists, but you could download fan edits of movies that people had took a lot of time and quite professionally put together. And one of the fan edits was called the Man on Fire, the Creasy cut. So they made it a good 30 minutes shorter because it is a bit too long, but they also, spoilers for Man on Fire, they also edited it so that the girl died. Because I thought that was a bit of a cop out, to be fair, in the actual in the actual edit. The fact that they didn't kill her was a bit of a Hollywoodization cop out. So in the fan edit, they basically made it 20 or 30 minutes shorter, and kept her dead. And I was like, ooh, this is good. I like this version.
Yeah, it's nice when they make things better.
Evening, gents. It will be interesting to see if
Who's
QT.
this person?
I don't think he's going to retire.
I think he's got too much going on upstairs.
Yeah, I mean, Soderbergh has retired 15 times. Like that, I don't.
There's big gaps, isn't there, between films?
Yeah,
he's probably got about 50 or 60 scripts just lying in his bedroom.
Yeah, but that's a good point. Maybe his version of retiring just means he won't direct, but he'll keep writing. So I can see that being a reality.
Yeah, because I'm looking. What's he done that he didn't? He wrote but didn't direct.
So there's this. There's Natural Born Killers. There's the From Dusk Till Dawn. I was trying to think of the name of that. I was like, what's that vampire movie again?
Is that the only ones?
Did he write? Killing? He didn't write Killing Zoe, no.
I mean, he might have helped.
He's uncredited. Yeah, he's uncredited on a bunch, like in the early 90s, like on Crimson Tide.
Yes, he did that long story about Star Trek in it.
Yeah, he was brought in to punch up the dialogue. You're like, okay, it's very obvious that the scene where they're talking about the Silver Surfer comic books, that's really talent, and then the one you just said there, yeah. Same with I'm sure he was brought in on The Last Boy Scout as to punch up some of the dialogue in that as well.
Yes, that makes sense. Because another Tony Scott film.
Yeah.
Because what's there's a few films in this. Was it A Better World Tomorrow? A Better Tomorrow 2? Sorry, Free Jack for some fucking reason, and obviously the Street Fighter trilogy. Oh yeah, Bulky.
Which, as a kid, I was convinced they were fake movies.
I can see that they look like parodies, don't they?
Like the Sunny and then 10 years later or something, as an adult, I'm flipping through the channels and I'm sure that it was on Film 4 at like 2 a.m. when I was like, oh, that's a real movie. So I started watching it and I was like, yeah, this is not for me.
See, I'd watch Street Fighter over this.
Yeah. Again,
but that is a missed opportunity. Jack Nicholson is a bit much too on the nose for his dad.
True. Yeah. Yeah, Four Rooms was indeed shite. I was checking through some of the comments here as well.
Yeah, because Nicholson, what's he been retired now? 15 years?
Is that right?
Was it Departed his last one?
No, surely not.
There was one after, but it was it's been a long time.
They just announced a 4K of that, didn't they? The Departed.
Yes.
Yeah,
I believe so. I saw that pop up somewhere.
I mean, I genuinely do like The Departed, but it still baffles me that it won Best Adapted Screenplay because it's so close to the original. Like, just like they adapted the screenplay by like translating it. Here's an Oscar.
It's a cantaloupe. Yeah, here we are. Well, we're almost at the halfway mark, and
where are we?
Drexel. At some point, I got shot in the nuts first, doesn't he, before he gets taken out fully? I forgot about the Hunger TV show. I did not know Bowie came back to that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I haven't seen the Hunger for a very long time, probably since the 80s. Oh yeah, there you go. Oldman and Leon. Oh, see, I love Dracula because
I don't mind it. I don't love it though.
It's mostly Winona Ryder I fancy that for. I was biased when that came out.
It's I find, and it's, I feel bad for saying this because I love so many of his movies, but I find it hard to watch Dracula, and I find it hard to get past Keanu Reeves' accent in that movie. I know where the bastard lives.
Because you hate the English.
No, I hate bad English accents. I don't hate. I love you. I love you and
Yeah.
all your kinsmen. I love it when you try and take our country.
But yeah, Destiny Turns on the Radio. Yeah, I think was he acting in that one, wasn't he, Tarantino?
Yeah, he should never act ever.
Yeah,
ever.
he should. Yeah, like whenever he turns up, it's taking a dive acting wise.
Yeah, that was it's one of the things that's like, I mean, I love From Dusk Till Dawn, but I'm just, he's just not a good actor, like, and he's
But that's
like,
how he started, wasn't it?
yeah, he's the co-lead in that movie, and he's and you just think like,
yeah, because in this he made a student film of this basic story back in 83, 84, I think it said. It's like a black and white shot on video.
It's on there, is it? On one of the discs. Yeah, I'm sure it's on one of the discs. It's Happy Birthday, something like
that. Yeah. It's like the beginnings of the story.
Is it on this? Let me check.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Oldman is a madman in Leon. Yes, he is. Not the AWOL film with Van Damme. I haven't killed anyone since 1984.
While I'm looking at it, like this, I think the two steelbooks that were released for this, they're such good looking steelbooks. Like, especially
they look nice.
I love the so this is the old original UK Blu-ray. I prefer that to as much as this is cool, and it's a good
yeah.
Like, it's a good double shot for the
one's very colourful, one's very black and white.
Yeah, but like I just like I love that design. Like one of the things that I fell in love with steelbooks to begin with was the quite often it's not the usual. It's not the poster. So the back artwork for the steelbook is the poster, but
yes,
the front artwork is that, and that's one of the things that got me into collecting steelbooks was designs like this. Like I would even without the text, like I would have just had that the tattoo design. Like that's one of the things that got me into steelbooks, and I think this was one of the first steelbooks that I got. Like when I first consciously started collecting them, I think this was one of the first ones I got because of that design.
Yeah. You can send me voice messages, Jeff, if you want to do some impressions for the show. Hey, Rust. Oh, you got a new sub. There you go. Rusty's there.
Thank you very much, my man.
Yeah. I haven't seen Natural Born Killers. I've only seen it once, I think.
Oh, I've seen that a good few times. I do like that movie. I think I don't know what else was nominated that year, but I genuinely think Woody Harrelson was like, even though it's like a controversial movie, but I think he was totally overlooked. But then I think the year before or the year later, he did get a nomination for when he played the porn guy. What's his name? Larry Flynn. When he played Larry Flynn.
Yes, he did.
Like, he was nominated for that, which was I think maybe a year or two later. But
people don't understand he was doing like a simpleton in Cheers or something just before he did those sort of films. So seeing him is shocking.
Impossible saying Oldman was terrific as playwright Joe Orton in Pick Up Your Ears. I've not seen that. I remember seeing the trailer for it, but I've not seen it.
Yeah, it's a very serious drama back in the 80s. But State of Grace I haven't seen either, sadly. Oh yeah, Dangerfield is the creepy dad because Juliette Lewis was up for the role in this.
That's right. That's right.
Alabama. There are a few half decent. Yeah, I think there's probably a half decent fan edit of the Spice World film, which is about 2 seconds long.
Yeah. Oh, Jim, I fell down a massive rabbit hole of fan edits. Like even now, I'm not advocating pirating movies, but you could even download this is getting quite geeky, but you could download the .iso image file to burn your own DVD, and you could the people who made the fan edit also did like cover art as well. So as part of there was a time when I had when it was just a DVD collection that I had, when there was a whole bunch of like high quality fan edits that I had got, including the downloading the cover and trimming that and buying blank cases to put them in as well, because I had a whole bunch of them, because like way back in the day I used to shoot a lot of wedding videos, and you would create VHSs, but then quickly became DVDs. So like I had like I had like a little like mini DVD production studio for the corporate videos and the wedding videos that I would shoot. So you could
Where's this going?
print them onto the DVD. But yeah, there was I'm trying to think what other ones were were quite famous. The Star Wars, the despecialized.
I was going to say the despecialist Star Wars are very popular,
Yeah.
especially the HD versions.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, the Man on Fire one. Oh, there was loads. There was absolutely loads. I wonder. I'll need to check if fanedit.org still exists. Because that would have been
It'll be out in the ether.
a good 15 years ago, probably. Good 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah. It was 2012. Yeah, there you go.
Wow. We actually watched the first Batman. We showed the kids the first Batman a week or two. And yeah, none of them enjoyed it.
No. My son, I think it was on, but yeah, he always wants to watch something else. I've tried Matrix, Jackie Chan, Star Wars, Marvel. Not interested in nothing.
What
He does Mario. So he's only seen the Mario film twice, the animated one.
You said he's 10, yeah? Yeah, that's the same age as my boy. Yeah, yeah. I've tried to get my kids into Star Wars. The only one I've actually managed to sit them down and watch, ironically, is Rogue One. They all quite like that, you know.
Okay.
Zach's a big Marvel fan though, so you know it's not difficult for him to watch a Marvel movie.
Right. So yeah, if you watch this scene, who is it? Michael Rapaport, I think it's in the background, or is it? Yeah, his look changes because he didn't tell anyone he didn't like roller coasters and got nauseous on them. So in some scenes he's looking happy and sedated, which they had to do, and then in other scenes it looked like he's going to be sick.
I don't think I know this. I'm just.
Well, you probably don't look in the background because you concentrate on the front, but yeah, because Michael Rapaport, I think was he in Deep Blue Sea?
Yeah.
Although they were watching the film Roller Coaster earlier in the film, I think.
Yeah, Copland. He's in Copland.
Yes.
We watched Copland not that long ago.
Oh yeah, it turns up in Desperado, tells a shit joke and gets shot. That's
a shit joke by a shit actor.
Yeah, there's an unrated version. I don't think it was heavily cut in the UK. Natural Born Killers. It's surprised it even got released because back in those days.
Yeah, I don't know which. I've got the regular Steelbook release of that. I don't know which version's on that though.
I think it took about 2 or 3 years to get released on VHS.
Yeah,
because it was so problematic.
I think the story and the kind of the hoopla surrounding that kind of overshadowed the film itself. Like it's not, I mean, looking at it through today's eyes, you're like, it's not that bad. But I suppose at the time, but yeah, and again, when that came out, I would have still been 14 or 15. What year was that? It was the same year, wasn't it? Was it 94, 95?
Which one?
Natural Born Killers.
I think so. It mentioned it earlier. Hang on. Well, there it is. It's on the same page. So this has scored 7.9. Few people like it. Natural Born Killers is a 7.2, and that came out 94. Yeah.
Yeah. Another movie that I saw when I was far too young to watch a movie.
Do you think it's not as bad as stuff you get these days, though?
Oh no, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, look at movies like the what's the one, The Human Centipede.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of stuff like Dragged Across Concrete, and the other one was just
that one. Look at a Serbian film. Tomahawk. Yeah,
Mel Foley. Yeah, that poor bastard. He's not. I guess he's just going to be in Beverly Hills Cop 4. Living.
That's not aged well.
Colin Firth has all the awards, but I think Ullman's the best British actor of his generation.
That's a whole other conversation that will take more time than we have.
Stop stirring, bumper. Yeah, it's Beverly Hills Cop because that's I remember I used to watch the sitcom. Was it? Where he played someone from Eastern Europe.
What were we talking about?
Bronson Pinchot or whatever his name is. He was famous in 80s sitcom. I can't remember what it's called now. Someone will tell me.
I can't think of anything he's been in other than this and Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, that's one thing. And then you got Sal Rubinek, who's based on Joel Silver, allegedly. Even though this is produced by Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, it's when you see pictures of Joel Silver and then you see him, you think, well, they didn't really try and hide it.
And then I think it was someone said it was unintentional, but then everyone else said you got him down to a T.
Yeah, I would venture to bet money on
made
the
in '92, but not released till '94, and it was still not released on
so
VHS in the UK for a few years.
They shot that would have been shot before True Romance then.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, fell off 3 roller coasters on 4 if you count the 4th one. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you count the 4th one?
Oh yes, he's in the Langoliers, of course. I do love the Langoliers. Stephen King TV film.
I'm going to need more info on the roller coasters, Russell. Why wouldn't you count the 4th one?
Maybe it was stopped. Perfect Strangers. Thank you, Larry. Ah, yes, and he is in Unforgiven. I think there's 2 actors. Oh yeah, the lady.
Yeah,
is in Unforgiven too, wasn't she?
Yeah. Yes, Russell. NBK means natural born killers. Yeah.
Yes.
Because we can't type.
So yeah, I suppose. Oh, this is a couple of years after Beverly Hills Cop 3 at the theme park, so could be the same theme park though.
I choose to forget Beverly Hills Cop 3 exists. Just stick with 1 and 2, and
there's no Die Hard 5 either, is there?
No Die Hard 5. There's no Indiana Jones 4. I'm going to allow 5. It's not great, but yeah, there's no Indiana Jones 4. That doesn't exist. We just have Raiders, the Temple, and then we go straight to the recent one. That fan made Kingdom of it was an AI fan made abomination, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So we won't care.
Yeah, I was very disappointed when I saw that in the cinema. I started off so well, even the warehouse scene I was with.
It started off well, but it kind of quickly went downhill. And when you get to the scene where what's his face is like Tarzaning through the jungle,
yeah, and it's just so CGI heavy.
Yeah, and then
we look at Raiders was made for like 13 million or something,
and it looks better. Yeah, it's obviously it's rear projection and miniatures and dummies, but it still looks better.
Yes.
There's no Die Hard or anything beyond 3. Yeah, I think we'll agree with that. We'll agree with that. Well, actually, no. Die Hard 4 is not terrible.
It's not terrible. It's just a different universe, I guess.
Yeah, Die Hard. What was it? So it's Die Hard 4.0 in the States.
That's it, yeah, it's 4.0 in the UK, and it's Live Free or Die Hard in America.
Yeah. I mean, A Good Day to Die Hard, ironically, has the best title, but it's the worst movie.
That is a good title. I will give it that. I watched it. I watched Die Hard 1 in the cinema because I've seen all of them in the cinema now at Christmas, and then the next day, when I came home, I watched Die Hard 5. Huh?
You saw Die Hard 1 in the cinema?
This Christmas coming.
I
wasn't old. I'm not that old.
It's like, Jesus, how old are you?
I was only 15 when the first one came. Well, technically, the first one came out in the UK in 89. I think it was February 89 because we did it this year.
Yeah, we went to see Die Hard in the cinema just at Christmas time, just there. Myself, my partner, and our oldest, who had been through a bit of a Die Hard binge in the past kind of year or so. So that was quite special getting to see that with one of the kids in the cinema. Like we did the whole thing. Like we got the grey jumpers and we wrote the ho 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 thing on it. So
I had the grey jumper with the ho ho ho. I wrote myself.
Good family fun. Good family fun.
Yeah. But it was all adults. It was all quiet, so it was all good.
Yeah, let's jump back. So I think I might have skipped slightly ahead of you.
The VHS is ahead.
Yeah,
so Brad Pitt, who improvised all his lines because it was a nothing role that he basically just a stoner, but he makes it his own as he would.
Wait,
he wasn't banging Gina Davis.
Yeah. So have you got on your VHS? Are you at the bit where James Gandolfini comes to speak to Brad Pitt yet?
Yeah. Well, I paused the VHS because it's ahead because it's different speeds.
Right.
But yeah, Gandolfini's outside the door of Brad Pitt.
Yep. Okay, I'm with you.
And he's just giving him. Yep.
Cool.
No Warlock 3. There you go, Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun
I was going
Kelly.
to say, not the so-called musician.
It's just a booty.
I'd like to humbly put a quiet vote in. Yeah, I don't mind it. I saw none of my songs them up. They made it just.
You can humbly go
as a
back.
crash grab.
No way. This is so bad. It's so bad. The theme park.
He made so much money off it.
Yeah. I mean, like, fair play Eddie Murphy. You know, like take the money, but it's not good.
Yeah, and it didn't have John Aston in it.
Yeah. The trailer for the new one doesn't look terrible.
Yeah, it's suspiciously good, isn't it?
Yeah. It's I remember watching that with like such like ready to you know, hate it, and I was like, actually, that's not bad. Yes, Michael Myers, tonight's stream is sponsored by I Am Brew. Available in all good.
You wish. It's Pinkers.
I'm more likely to get a sponsorship from I Am Brew than you are from that. So
as long as you sit mid from Guthers.
Indeed. My one of the kids wants me to do a blind taste test on the various versions of Iron Brew that's out there. So probably do that.
Iron Brew.
Probably do that one weekend. Because you've got your regular Iron Brew, you've got the sugar-free Iron Brew.
Pointless one.
You've got the original recipe 1901, which they brought out to kind of like circumvent the sugar tax that we have. Like, okay, so regular Iron Brew, we need to reduce the sugar. That's fine. So we'll just bring out 1901 and charge more for it because of the sugar tax.
But yeah, this is the best bit when Alabama gets beaten up. Unfortunately, she fights back at the end, but otherwise.
People, I can see this stream being used in evidence against you one day.
Yeah. It's like was it Jimmy Carr says he's already told the joke that's getting him cancelled.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is mine. Yeah, he's the best. He's good in this.
Yeah.
Because what else did he do? Was it the Mexican with Brad Pitt? Was it Julia Roberts in that? I think
that's
right.
In that one. And he did that other movie with Brad Pitt kind of more recently, the Hitman one. What was it called? The one.
Error.
Not Burn After Reading. What was it called? The Brad Pitt one with James Gandolfini. Well, there's like Brad Pitt's got that good speech about America being it's not a company. It's not a country. It's a company. Someone else in the comments. What was that called?
I'm trying to think now. What was it about? Was it Moneyball?
No. The Hitman one. Oh man, I don't want to Google it. But
no, don't Google it. Use your brain, man.
So do you know what I'm talking about? So he plays like Brad Pitt's in it. He's a hitman. James Gandolfini's a hitman as well, but like he has a crisis of conscience or something like that, and so he can't perform as a hitman.
Hang on. No one's saying it. Someone shout it in the chat. You're always there when I fuck up.
Don't make us Google it. Is it even James Gandolfini? Am I getting it?
Oh, hang on. We could be.
It's definitely Brad Pitt. 100% it's Brad Pitt.
Okay.
Definitely Brad Pitt.
Here's the easiest he got because he just. Oh, it's not. Yeah, not the Mexican.
No, it's not the Mexican. It's not a Mexican.
Not the Mexican. No, modern. Oh, how modern?
It's a more recent Brad Pitt film from it's probably 10 years old, but I'm almost positive James Gandolfini's in it as well.
Oh, cutting class. That's some Brad Pitt horror from the 80s, but yeah, someone speared on a trampoline because that's in the new Thanksgiving film. Someone's done like that.
Is that any good?
Someone's not. I haven't seen it yet, but I know that happens because I sadly saw a review that spoiled it. Russ is watching these Saw traps next.
Not a spy game. It's not a spy game either, Michael Myers. Someone must. Oh man! It nearly came to me.
It's something obviously offensive to YouTube.
It's gone. Oh,
there we go. Someone type it in Morse code or something. If you can't, we'll do charades.
You know the movie. Type the movie then. Type the movie.
This scene is brutal. Yeah, not.
Does it have like a word that like YouTube will?
It looks like killing me softly.
Yes. Killing yourself. So am I wrong, or is James Gandolfini in that as well?
Oh, no. Got two questions. You got to wait at least a minute for an answer.
I think we've got it wrong. We don't
I think them.
say the spelling, but
yeah, the scene is brutal, but she deserved it. She's annoying as fuck.
that's harsh. That's harsh.
She might be tolerable if you can wire a jaw shut.
It is a brutal scene, though. Like,
it was very problematic when this film came out, even though she fights. But I think people were more upset by her fighting back because it's what they called it. It said it was animalistic.
Really? I thought.
Yeah.
I thought you like they kind of like.
Yeah, he's allowed to hit her because he's a bad guy.
I'm sure I read as well, or somebody talked about it on one of the commentaries, but like James Gandolfini was like method for this. Like he didn't shower and bathe, and he wanted to.
Yes, he did. I read that. Yeah, he didn't shower. He was living in a shitty hotel,
and he wanted to like be as greasy and like yucky as possible. You know, so that would have been fun to like spend 12 hours a day in a room with him when he smelled like that.
Yeah, in a hot room in LA.
Yeah, with like movie lights baking and stuff like that. Time to get you employed as a code breaker, Jeff.
Gandalf is in it. I guess it's Gandolfini.
Yeah. I only recently discovered the whole thing on YouTube and TikTok and social media about like not using certain words. Like there's this dude who's on a TikTok. He's a Scottish guy who talks about movies and comics.
Oh yeah.
The name of his channel or his account escapes me, but it's a good channel. But he kept saying, instead of saying killed or murdered, he kept saying unalived. It took me ages to figure out why, and then I googled it, and then I was like, because if you say killed, like the algorithm won't show your video.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Or something like that. Hang on, where's the bleep?
I'll edit it out later. But yeah, you have to, especially when you're talking about unaliving yourself, you have to use this. Oh, right, where are we? I can type them softly about the first word. Fine, go ahead. Like Patricia with long hair. I'm trying to think of other stuff she's done. Because it was Elm Street 3. Desperately Seeking Susan. No, that's Rosanna Arquette. How's Patricia done that? Time you get employed as a code breaker, Jeff. They are always looking for spies, but not Dutch ones. No, I can't hear. What are you up to?
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
You got me?
You pulled your plug.
Wait.
There you go. I can hear you now.
So the mic, man.
Why would you not need to be? Yeah. Why?
Man.
There's this gangster.
Okay. You got me now?
She uses the Elvis thing to knock him on the
I can't
head.
hear you.
Him off.
No. What's happening?
Oh, he's fucked up.
Wait. Let me check.
It's like this, yeah. You'll get blocked, not by me, but by the. I thought I turned off unsafe words as well.
Okay. I got you back.
I can hear you.
No.
You hear me. He's gone all Scotch again.
So
Alabama is incredible. She does take a beating and comes back hard. He just shot her.
How's that?
Enigma machine. There you go.
Oh man. So I can't hear you.
Come on.
Can you hear me at all?
I can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay, so I can't hear you. So I need to figure out what's going on there.
Can everyone hear me?
Give me a second. Okay, so Gareth is just going to vamp.
Let you type killing Zoe. I guess it's doing some with doing calm,
side of things here.
Medium. So medium.
Why can't I hear you?
We say welcome to Florida instead of saying killing down here. Oh, some guy in a very obvious mask is on fire.
That.
There you go. How is he doing? Can anyone hear me?
Why the hell can't I hear you anymore?
Little Nicky, yeah, that's it. Yes, that's the preacher, isn't he? Tarantino's in that. And then she empties a shotgun. Oh, you do see it in this. I don't think you see it in the VHS. How are we doing there? Is it me or is it him?
You're definitely not muted, no? No.
I don't know. Can the chat hear me?
I can see if I can read lips. You know, let's all see if I can. Right. Everything is as it should be at my end.
Yeah, she's burnt him.
But
she shot him with a shotgun and hit him a lot.
I totally can't hear you.
No one's telling me if they can hear me or
Why
not.
can't I hear you?
I think it doesn't like the word. Yeah, me.
Okay.
How's that?
Give me 2 minutes. I'm going to reboot this.
oh yeah. See, Fluff can hear it. Hi, Fluff. So yeah, it's him. Apparently, I can hear both of you. Yeah, it's not certain words. It's certain words and sentences. Like when Jeff was playing one of his games, I told him to shoot the bitch in the face, and it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't go through. So yeah, I've got the Bronson Pinchot in his Porsche, and a hooker who hasn't. Yeah, there she is. Is this still ahead of us? Yeah. So he pulls over.
Okay.
How's this? Mockingbird can hear us.
Still can't
hear
that? Okay, so Mockingbird can hear us both, but I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you? What's going on?
Right, so there we go. Oh yes, he got minced in a wind farm when Jill was.
Is there a mute button that I'm just totally not seeing?
Turn your volume up.
There's a mute button for me, so that's fine.
Mute button for you, mute button for me. I love mute button, mute button.
I can hear you.
Hey, he's back in the room.
Okay, excellent. So is it back to being all echoey, or is it all good?
No, you're all good. It sounds very nice.
I'm not going to mess with that then. I don't know what I did.
Don't do it again.
I don't know what I did.
Good evening, Sophie.
Can I do to fix it?
Smiley face or something? I'm not good at emojis.
That is a terrible thing to call Gareth. He's not that bad. He's not. He does it for free, so he technically can't be called a whore because he does it for free.
Oh,
that another word?
I do nothing for free. Here's Tom Sizemore. He was also in Natural Born Killers, isn't he?
So he was. I really like
Chris Penn, who's in Ye Old Reservoir Dogs.
He's rhyming through all the Tarantino connections.
Yeah, the ones I remember. So I'm trying to think what else Sizemore did. He did The Relic after this. And there's Ed Lauter with a very bad wig.
Oh wait, hang on.
That's too much rock music.
Is it both of us that's buzzing, or is it just me? Because that might be...
no, it's his ears that's buzzing.
Yeah.
It's too much rocking.
Where are we on the movie? I'll make sure we're in sync.
Keep singing. I convinced my girlfriend that you guys are the Oasis Brothers. I hate the Oasis Brothers, but today's gonna be the day.
Which Oasis? So who's who? Can I be Noel? I want to be Noel because Liam always comes across as a bit of a tool. I want to be Noel.
Hey, all right, go on now, lads.
Clearly, you should be Liam then, yeah.
Oh, yeah, can. Yeah, yes.
I still can't tell.
Sizemore and Ed are all rest in peacing.
Oh yeah. So brother Fluff Salisbury, interestingly, is that an insult to us or a compliment?
That's a good point.
Crucially, now this is really important, brother Fluff. Which one's which? Who's Liam?
Yeah. And which one's got the hair?
Like, this needs to be.
Oh yes, that's it. Lauter was in one of the Death Wish. Was it 3, 2?
Oh, that's well.
New Days.
I don't think I've seen any Death Wish movies apart from the first one.
Oh, Death Wish 3 is Rambo in New York. You can see that one.
I mean that's a good sales line. That's a good sales line.
The second one's a canon film, so you've got to see that one as well. Well, the third one's a canon film, but it's
How many did
basically Rambo.
Do we know how many death? Oh yeah, wait, did they not do a remake with Bruce Willis like not that
Yes,
long ago?
that's it.
And it was Eli Roth that made it. I think.
Yes,
I mean,
that's him.
it didn't look great. Did you watch that one?
Yeah, it wasn't great. It was good for a modern Bruce Willis film, but
Yeah. I'm going to pause my my copy just because I think I've skipped ahead a minute or so. So I'll try and catch.
yeah, I'm like the same place as this where he's fussing her or cradling her.
I'll let you catch up.
Yeah, well, yes, technically it's Rambo in London because the third film is filmed in London of Death Wish 3, which makes it even weirder.
Is it set in London or did you just use London as New York?
It's yeah, they just filmed it in London to make it look like rundown New York. I don't know what that says about 80s London.
Yeah, that's kind of like that. That's the joke about Glasgow recently because it was used as Gotham in the Batman and in the Batgirl too, and they were talking about
because what was it?
they were saying
Batman, Liverpool
Gotham,
as well because
Gotham never looked so good as Glasgow. It's just bleak and dull and dry and wet and depressing. You're like, thanks. You're not wrong, but thanks.
But the locks are nice around the outside of the cities.
Yeah, but that's not that's not really Glasgow. That's you need to leave Glasgow to see the see the pretty scenery.
They let you leave Glasgow now? Bloody hell, I thought it would.
They do, yeah. I get special dispensation.
Okay. I thought it was like, was it like Resident Evil 2 or Doomsday, where they've shut it off from the rest of the world?
Yep, Doomsday. That's right. Yeah, that was shot here as well. Yeah. The best story about recent movies that were shot in Glasgow, though, was World War Z. There's the opening scene in World War Z. There's an aerial shot of George Square in Glasgow, which is like the which is like our version of like Piccadilly Circus, Times Square.
Yeah.
It's nothing like them, but it's our version of that. So it's very identifiable if you're from Glasgow or if you know Glasgow. That's George Square. And I remember seeing World War Z in the cinema, and there's that opening scene, and there's an aerial shot of what everyone in cinema knows is George Square, but like it comes up on screen, Philadelphia. Everyone in the screen just burst out laughing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand. I mean, filming stuff in a main street and calling it somewhere. Like, well, was it Dial of Destiny? Was that filmed in Glasgow as well? Or was that Edinburgh?
Literally the same square, George Square, was and it was also used in The Flash. The opening scene in The Flash where Batman's chasing the guys in like the tank type thing. That's George Square. I remember watching them film some of that. Yeah, they did as well in one of the Fast movies. I think Fast 8. I think they shot a whole bunch in Glasgow as well. Some of the car chases along Glasgow. They must
Edinburgh for the other one. Where what's his name? Zip lines.
Yeah. That was Fast 9. That was Edinburgh. Yeah, but it was Fast 7 or Fast 8. They shot some of the second unit car chases in Glasgow. Yeah. Hobbs and Shaw as well. There's been loads actually. There's been a lot in the past decade.
It's weird coming over here to all the effort it takes.
They do a lot of. I think the government gives them there's good tax incentives to plus weather aside. There's a lot.
Yeah, that's the trouble.
There's a lot you can do. Like you can have a city street that passes for like Philadelphia or New York.
50s Philadelphia.
But then you can drive less than an hour and you've got like hills and locks and inside, so there is a lot, and there is one or two fairly new big studios here. There's one called Ward Park Studios, which is just outside of Glasgow. They've got I'm sure they've got a big green screen stage there. They shot some of Endgame there, I'm sure, and that's where they shoot what's the show? The Highlander type show. I've never seen it, but it's like the romantic novel type. Outlander. They shoot a bunch of Outlander.
I was going to say, what's that like? Highlander. Yeah.
I've never actually seen it, so I don't know if that's an accurate descriptor. But Jimmy was the best cop. Wasn't it? I don't remember being a cop. Striking. Is that the one with Bruce Willis? And
that's another Bruce Willis one, yeah.
Did Sarah Jessica Parker?
Yes, that's it.
I remember that one. He's like a boat cop.
Yeah, yes, because
Yeah. I remember
he
that.
was a big cop from a cop family, and then his dad gets killed when chasing the serial killer, and then he gets bumped down to boat cop.
Yeah.
Tonight on NBC.
Mad Max.
It's like Mad Max, Wasteland style New York, but still, yeah, it's like all 80s New York films. It's a apocalyptic wasteland.
I was actually listening to the Mad Max 2 soundtrack the other day. It's that's still a standout. That's still a standout.
With this Rappaport real audition, it could be. Oh, there you go. Chicken. I like chicken.
I'm still a minute or two ahead, so I'm going to pause.
Okay. Yeah, she's got her makeup on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, spoilers. Sizemore's not the villain. It is set up that he looks the villain. Yeah. For some reason, Jeff won't shut up about Once Upon a Time in the West. For some reason, I don't know. Something to do with favorite film of all time or something nonsense.
I've only seen one.
What are those teeth?
It doesn't nothing of it doesn't it to me.
Jimmy was the best cop. Yeah, that's striking distance.
Oh, is that
that's right. She still looked doable. Not like a horse.
No comment.
We don't objectify women on my channel. Who owns this? Who owns this film now? Warner Brothers distributed it. Yeah, because mine's a Warner Brothers tape. What is yours?
So let me check.
Yeah, it's Morgan Creek at the beginning.
So the Arrow video is the most recent release. So let me see what it says on that.
Favorite Bronson film, second favorite film of all time, I guess. There you go.
Right. I'm too old to read the small print.
Yeah, they do make it the same color and small, don't they?
Revolution apparently Park Circus Limited on behalf of Revolution Studios in the United Kingdom. If that's an answer for you. Distributed exclusively for and by Arrow Video. So is that an answer?
Yeah, I guess they have the rights to release it, don't they, now?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it said at the beginning. Yeah, I think all of Tom Sizemore's and Chris Penn's stuff with Bronson Pinchot, or whatever his name is, was ad-libbed earlier. I think it is when they're listening to the radio.
Interesting.
But I don't think they're allowed to go off script when you make a proper Tarantino film, are you?
No. I remember Brad Pitt talking about Inglourious Bastards. He kind of described it quite succinctly, where he said, the script is the Bible, the set is church, and Quentin is God. Like that, that's I can see that.
Yeah, can't blame him, I guess, if you're the writer director.
Yeah. This is this bit here, the line that Bronson, what's his face, says here when he's doing it. I would just when he kind of like breaks down and he's like, I just want to take me away. I just like that's a line that myself and my partner quote to each other, not on a daily basis, but I would say that's used on a weekly basis. That line.
Oh, weekly basis.
Yeah, on a weekly basis. Which is like anytime either of us are in a situation where we don't want to be doing what we're doing. We're just like, I want someone to take me away.
Only weekly. That's all right. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
In these modern times.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. There we go. An offer you can't refuse. Oh, what could that be? The Freshman with Matthew Broderick, maybe.
Yeah, because I was going to say it's not The Godfather because it's like a misquote of The Godfather quote.
I think it might be Godfather. Yes, for a Dutchman, he likes a lot of Italian-made films, Italian characters. Oh, here's Brad Pitt again.
Was this before or after Thelma and Louise? I think it was after, wasn't it?
It was after, yeah, because he got the very small part in that.
Yeah.
That was Ridley Scott, so it's
yeah,
Tony's brother.
So when was What was his breakout role? What was his first lead? Was it California?
I knew I shouldn't have to look this up. Hang on. Yeah, well, I guess small time it was Thelma and Louise. He got noticed, and that's why he
Yeah.
turned up in this, I guess.
Or he did that Johnny was it that kind of
Johnny English, the cartoon Cool World, or
Cool World. Yeah. Cool World. That may have been before.
That was I think I only seen that once. Was that the animated Kim Basinger?
Yeah.
Right. So where is he? Typical. Came up bloody produce at first. I've scrolled all the way down. Right. Cutting Class. Too Young to Die. That was 1990. I did not know that. Thelma and Louise. Johnny Suede. I remember that coming out. Then Cool World. Then A River Runs Through It.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
then
that was his big breakout role, I think. Like,
yeah. Then the California.
On this
with
World
a K.
Stage.
And then Interview with the Vampire was his big break in 94. And he had Legends of the Fall in 94, and then 7 in 95, with Toe Monkeys in 95.
I quite liked California. I remember that one. That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
David
Duchovny
film. Yeah. I quite like that.
David Duchovny.
Yeah, it's a good wee road murder movie. Sorry, unalived movie.
Close with the Freshman. Same actor doing something a similar thing. Nuts. Godfather, maybe. Yep, Godfather.
If that's your favorite movie and you're misquoting it, that's
Whoa! Don't start something with
something you need to look at, mate.
The Netherlands. Yeah, Thelma was 91. 7 probably was his breakout. Yeah, that seems a bit late.
I'm looking forward to the 7 4K box set special edition release thingy that's coming out with the box. I can't remember if I bought this. There's 2 versions I think that Zavvi were doing, and the only difference, there was like a £20 difference, but it seemed to be the only difference was the cardboard box.
Something's in the cardboard box.
It's like, is that worth an extra £20? Like, is it literally just going to be a cardboard box? I can't remember which one I ended up going for. So if you see me do an unboxing and it is a cardboard box, then we can refer back to this video where I said that was
so a good idea. Comes in a cardboard box, then it is a cardboard box, and then it's the film.
Yeah, and it's a cardboard
Amazon packaging.
It's worth £20. The box within the box, for an extra £20.
Yes, it all happens in Scotland. Yeah, Liverpool, Scotland. What's the other one? Newcastle. It's all up north now. But yeah, Cornwall used to be used a lot in the old days.
Yeah.
But it's all kilts and kebab tossing now. Oh, that's offensive. It's like having blocked.
If you can toss a keyboard, it's not offensive.
Hunting Nessie. Oh yeah, Keitel and Madsen were in Thelma and Louise. I haven't seen that for a long time.
Oh, yeah,
I saw that in the cinema. It was around the time I was going a lot.
No, I definitely. I think I probably not even VHS. I think like the Region 1 DVD when I started like collecting movies and like going through directors' filmographies. I remember when I was on a Ridley Scott like binge. I think I'd bought from Play.com back in the day when you could buy DVDs for a $10.
Oh yes, that was a good one.
I remember pretty much buying every Ridley Scott movie. So I think the first time I saw Thelma and Louise would have been when I was grabbing all of Ridley Scott's movies.
Yeah, because how many versions of Blade Runner are there?
Oh, far too many.
I've got 3 or 4 on VHS.
I think Andy, Andy Electric Geek on YouTube, when we did our podcast episode, we kind of briefly mentioned that because I think that did he say that was his all-time favorite film, or it's one of his all-time favorite films? And we talked about that, and it's one of those movies where it's like I don't dislike it, but it's it wouldn't trouble my top 50. It's like it's good. I don't love it, But I remember, I remember again. It was, but the first time I watched it again, much like Thelma and Louise, was when I was like, I want to watch all of Ridley Scott's movies. But then when it came to choosing Blade Runner, I was like, when I was like looking at it, I'm like, which one do I watch? There's so many different versions, and I think like decision paralysis kicked in, where I was just like, what's the definitive cut of Blade Runner? And there's no, even though there probably is a cut called the definitive cut, there doesn't seem to be a definitive cut.
No, isn't it? Yeah, the final cut's the last one. He promises he's not messing around with it anymore. But
yeah, sure, we'll see.
It's a Sal Robinik. Yeah, I do like him as an actor.
Yeah, it's hard to see him in anything and not just think of his performance in this though. Like anytime I see him, I just think of him in this movie.
I think of stuff like Warehouse 13 or some others. I didn't know he was in this until he popped up in the credits yesterday. I couldn't remember half of, because I did watch all Tarantino's film. Must be about 5 years ago, I think. Oh, when did Once Upon a Time come out?
Ooh,
Is it a few years ago now?
2019.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It must have been that year, building up to that coming out, just to give them another go, just in case.
It was pre-COVID, but it was like it was just pre-COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just picking all the words you can't say on live streams, aren't you, tonight?
Is that what it is? COVID. I mean, you said whore. I think a whore's okay. You said whore like 50,000.
I said whores. I said fucking whores.
The algorithm is never going to pick up my accent. Like if you watch this back with like the auto captions, it's fine. It will make it a different one.
Put your phone voice on.
It will make it. This is my phone voice. You should hear my actual Glasgow voice, because this is my. Pardon me?
Yeah, sorry, it's offensive.
Yeah. So count yourself lucky that this is my phone voice you're getting.
That's it.
Enunciate. And when you enunciate, you spit. That's a Gary Oldman line, but not from a film.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
10 points to anyone in the comments who can get that one.
What, when he said it?
What TV show did he say that?
Wogan.
Yep.
Oh, shit. Makes me motherfucker. Oh, here we go. So the coppers, they're after Sal.
Yeah.
The gangsters are after Clarence. There's a lot of people that get in the way because they just decide to get up. Who does survive in this? I can't remember now. I don't know what she is. Does it? No one?
Richie runs away with the suitcase.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, he gets the suitcase and buggers off. That's it. Yeah. I don't remember if he got shot on the way out, but no, he doesn't.
I think everyone else dies.
Yeah.
I think Tom Sizemore survives. I think no.
Doesn't he die of his injuries? Hang on, I thought it was your favorite film from Friends.
It's definitely top. I need to redo the top 10 because I haven't done it for a while. But it used to be top 10. If it might have been edged out, but it's definitely.
Oh, hang on, he's only made 10 films.
No, my top 10. Now my top 10. Yeah, I would probably still say this isn't my top 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Elvis again.
Yeah, like I remember like this scene specifically because his head is chopped off. I remember thinking,
yeah, it's always just
like if I got a dodgy VHS copy, like
yes, I know. Oh no, the open mat's gone.
Yeah, before I knew what that was, I was like, yeah. Me as a 10-year-old, the open mat's gone. What's happening?
I want to see that boom mic.
I remember watching a copy of Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil movie, and it must have been an open mat one because you could see the boom all the time.
It's a shame,
all the time. Yeah, and it didn't make the movie any better. I do have a soft spot for the first Resident Evil movie, to be fair, but that's only because I loved that game. Like I lost many, many hours of my childhood.
The first 3 I cannot play because of the tank controls. I can never. I just sit there spinning. And I go, no, turn the other way and shoot him. No, I'm just spinning. No, walk. Yeah,
the first 2 Resident Evil games, like a lot of my childhood was don't want to say wasted, but a lot of my childhood was invested in those two games.
So is that the answer from Friends?
Yes, Friends. Friends is the answer. Well done, Mockingbird.
Have we got a prize?
10 points. I did say 10 points, so you can get 10 points.
10 points. You can have a golf clap.
Golf clap? Golf clap.
Well done.
I wondered what the hell was going on there. It's been a while since we broke out some of the clips, so I was like, what have I
It
pressed?
has been a while. I haven't done any of the anyone seen Haters Players Ball. Isn't Denzel in the first? I don't think. Well, he could be in the background. I don't think he's. I've never heard he's in that one. But there's so many actors playing punks in those films.
Oh, you kind of see, at least it's out of focus, but you can tell it's Val Kilmer a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm in sync again at last. Cops just point guns everywhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in sync with what you've got on the third screen there. Yeah.
You believe in Jesus. Yeah, that's Death Wish 2.
Yeah.
The amount of feathers in these cushions is unrealistic. It does seem to be snowing a lot of cushions later.
I think all you needed to have was a couple of doves flying through the scene, and it could easily be a John Woo movie.
Yes.
More feathers and then some doves. Like, there's an interesting concept. A Tarantino script directed by John Woo.
Well, what's he done recently? That John Woo. He made a new film, didn't he? The Christmas one that was.
I've not seen it yet. No, is that a Christmas one? It's called Silent Night. But
Yeah.
I've with the dude who was in the RoboCop remake. What's his name?
Yeah, he's wearing a Christmas jump in the poster I saw, but
you're right. He is. He's got a Christmas jump. Joel Kinnaman.
That's him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he shoots. The shooting starts because that poor copper just gets every bullet. It's opening tirade.
Yeah.
Just because he throws a drink in their face, and then Bronson pushing you.
So he definitely died.
Everyone's just shooting everyone.
This is what I was mentioning earlier in the unrated director's cut. Chris Penn. So Chris Penn shoots.
Yes.
Yep. Now that's him being a cop. So
he shoots. Yeah, he shoots him in
the eye for this. But
shoots him in the eye, I guess, and it
raises
him as.
So what you don't see here is in the unrated cut, Alabama grabs a gun and kills Chris Penn very definitively, very on purpose, not just like a random. She aims to shoot.
She aims to the side of his bulletproof vest.
That's right. Yeah, which is does ample. But yeah, that really sticks out as being a bad decision.
Yeah, it does. Like you said, it makes her the bad guy.
Yeah, and I'm like, she doesn't deserve a happy ending. After that, so I think the theatrical cut, the one that we're watching, I think it's probably not the only one, but like I said, it's one of the few ones where I prefer that to the unrated or to the director's cut.
Yeah. Resident Evil Apocalypse is great just for Jill Valentine.
Yeah, and I think it's important. I think it's impossible if you liked the games and you were of a certain age, you're never going to not have a soft spot for the movies. Like I've got even though especially the sequels, most of the movies are not great, but going back to steelbook collecting and steelbook designs, again, one of the first kind of collections that I wanted to get was the Resident Evil steelbook set, because the artwork, the design on them is brilliant. There's actually been like 4 or 5 different releases, and they've all got good artwork, but it was the original pop art steelbook design was again one of the things that kind of got me into collecting steelbooks, and then kind of having complete sets, because like as a display piece, the Resident Evil steelbooks look cool. They look cool.
You never touch them again, but
once you get past the third movie, the movies are pretty bad, to be honest.
Yeah, they never follow on, do they? They always like set up an ending. They're on top of the White House, and the next one that's not.
They don't. They completely they disregard what happened in the previous movie very quickly. The third one's probably the most complete movie, but I think ironically that's probably I think is one of the only ones that's not directed by Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yes, that's it. He didn't do them all, did he? Because
No.
Highlanders, Russell Mulcahy did the third
That's
one.
right. He did the third one, and I think that
That's-
shows. Like that's
Oh,
that's the best movie.
there you go. So, yes. So my Blu-ray she just shot Chris Penn,
Yeah.
and in this one, she did not. I don't think I've seen White Squall. Is that Robert Redford or is that something else?
White Squall is Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. That's it. It's the other one.
It's like the set in like the 50s or something like that.
Yeah, is it the one that's like
The sailboat program for troubled children type thing?
yeah, it's like Dead Poets Society, but on a boat.
That's a good that's a good descriptor.
That's how I've heard it.
Is that who brought that up? Oh wait, that's a Ridley Scott movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those lesser ones he's known for.
Yeah. I remember watching that in a cinema in Canada one summer when I was a kid. I just randomly.
Randomly in Canada watching Ridley Scott films.
I've spent a couple of summers in Canada, family over there, and I've always loved going to the movies. And then I figured out, wait a minute, there's movies out here that aren't coming out back home yet. Like I remember seeing The Rock. I remember being in Canada in the summer, and I got to see The Rock in Canada before it came out in the UK, and I got to see True Lies in the cinema before it came out in the UK. And but the thing that was brilliant was none of my friends got to see either of them in the cinema because they were both 15s and we were like 11 at the time or something like that. So I was
the stupid Americans and their
it was
PG-13 or NC, was it? Whichever one lets parents.
If it's rated R, you can, as long as you're with an adult, you can go and see it.
Yes, that's it.
So I think they were both R rated, or it was PG-13, but we didn't have the 12 certificate didn't exist here yet. So it was like it was a PG or it went to a 15. So like True Lies, which is clearly like a 12 rated movie, but that didn't exist. So True Lies was probably a 15 when it was first released here.
Yeah, and then they changed it to 12A, didn't they? So
yeah,
and then cut the films to make sure they fit that.
Yeah, Spider-Man, I think, was the first movie with the 12 rating or the 12A rating.
I think Spider-Man, yeah, is mentioned.
That random movie trivia pub quiz for you.
Because Batman was the original 12, but then it wasn't on VHS.
Ah,
12 didn't exist on VHS. I think it was only on cinema.
That's right. 12A came out for home video, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. And it's all happy families.
Getting to the end.
And that is Patricia Arquette's 4-year-old, I believe, that they're playing with.
That's right, yeah. They talk about that.
He's having fun. Hanging out with Christian Slater.
So you don't like Hans Zimmer's score to this?
No, I
absolutely adore that score. It's genuine. That's if True Romance is a top 10 movie, the score to this is probably a top 5 score for me.
What?
I just love it. Like I saw the Hans Zimmer concert 2 or 3 times. And he stopped. Like this was only part of the set list the first time I saw it. The first time I saw him in concert. So like
live.
Yeah, live. So
you were there.
Yeah. So like it's so Hans Zimmer actually goes on tour, like with an orchestra and with a band.
I've seen it like on.
It's
Blu-ray.
It's hands down. Hands.
Thank
you. It's hands down. Hans Zimmer live is hands down one of the, not even one of, but it's the best live music gig I have been to.
Even watching it
by far.
Video, it's good.
I saw him once in Manchester, once in Glasgow, and then I saw him more recently, just last year, I think it was in Amsterdam. It was my brother very kindly got me that as a gift for my birthday. So thank you very much. If you're watching this, he won't watch this. He never watches these videos, but thank you anyway. So like the four of like my partner, my brother, and his partner went to Amsterdam for a weekend, but also to see the Hans Zimmer concert. Why am I talking about that? I've lost train of thought. Yeah. So even Hans Zimmer, I think this isn't his favorite of his scores because like the first time I saw his concert, this was part of the set list. but it wasn't
Right.
part of the set list the second time, and it wasn't part of the set list the third time. So like
Oh,
he's bumped this for other more recent ones, like probably June,
I guess yeah.
Bond and whatnot, because June and Bond weren't made the first time I saw him. But
Yeah.
like I just love that score. I love that theme tune. I've always loved it. When I was a young wannabe filmmaker and I was making movies just on a DV camera, and I was like, dubbing it on a really rudimentary editing program, like for my fake production company that didn't exist when I was making like stupid movies with my friends. The the music that was overlaid over my production company was the Hans Zimmer score. When I first started and even beyond that, when I first started making wedding videos, the wee intro sting of my company name had this over it. It was before I knew, and I think it was before it probably predated YouTube to a certain extent. But like you certainly weren't concerned about like copyright strikes and things like that, because
No.
this was like we're literally talking about me making a wedding video for someone and then making a VHS copy dub of that for them. But like the intro would be my wedding video company name, and the accompanying jingle was the Hans Zimmer score for True Romance. So you're wrong. It's a brilliant score. End of rant.
And of course he's wrong. Right, where do we get to? 1492. Yes, it's another one I saw in the cinema. Yeah, that was a tricky film to make all round.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
We've got some Aerosmith. We've got some Robert Palmer in this. Chris Isaac.
Yeah. I mean, we can just go through the track list here. So on the actual the general like songs soundtrack, you do get you do have the Hans Zimmer cue, which is called "You're So Cool," but then you've got Graceland, Charlie Sexton. You've got In Dreams, John Waite, Wounded Bird, Charlie and Eddie, I Want Your Body. I mean, I'm just reading out songs. You can see it on the screen there, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, it's in THX. Oh,
So
I prefer his Gladiator score. But he does like this one.
Oh no, I love all Hans Zimmer scores. Gladiator, I would put Gladiator above this. I can't listen to that without tearing up. Like this kind of like this tickled the funny bone of my kids no end about a month or two ago when I showed them Gladiator, and because of the Titans of Cult, like the new 4K like Titans of Cult box set, like Steelbook release had just came out, and put the disc in, and you're getting ready to get settled in and watch the movie. So they what did I drop? Oh no, I dropped the Steelbook. No.
Oh, come on. Don't break things.
That's okay. It survived.
Come out.
So they put the disc for Gladiator in, and so the menu pops up and it just kind of keeps repeating itself. And it's only maybe a minute or two as we're getting everything ready, but just as soon as I hear the Gladiator cue, the Gladiator music, I just start to well up. I just like
it is a powerful one.
Watching it live as well, I'm sitting there in an arena with 4, 5, 10,000 people, and I'm sitting there listening to Hans Zimmer play the Gladiator track live, and I'm just like uncontrollably crying. I just can't hold it in. It's like such an experience.
Hang on, I thought you were Scottish.
My feelings. I'm a modern Scotsman. Thank you very much. No, shut
it. Or I'll kick you. Going to Amsterdam for a Hans Zimmer concert. When there's plenty of the red light district.
We did venture to the live district, the red light district,
typical.
At 10 a.m. just so we could tick that box. Technically, we have been to the red light district. Yes.
Get the ladies when they're fresh.
Yeah, they didn't look fresh.
Do you think Tony Scott's version of the Warriors would have turned? Oh, was he up? Oh, was he remaking the Warriors? Was he?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I don't know. I don't
know. It's a tricky one.
I don't know if a modern version of the Warriors would work. It's very much.
No, I'm trying to think because it's certainly set in the 80s when the gangs were ruling New York and everything.
Exactly.
So
like the concept of like local tribal gangs in an area just doesn't work in the modern area when everyone can use their phone and get an Uber to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like gangs of like teenagers don't get the subway. They'll phone their dad for a lift.
Oh, of course, yeah. Zimmer did The Rock.
He did. Which when you watch that in concert and he plays The Rock and then he plays Pirates of the Caribbean, you think, yeah, they're very, very similar.
They're very similar, yes. Which one's that now? Let's check the listing. Are you not entertained? Yeah, there was a nice picture of Russell Crowe in Rome the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
His family, showing him the offices of where I work.
But that's still a great movie, Gladiator. That still holds up.
But Gladiator 2, yay!
That's right. That comes out. Is it this November? I think it's slated.
Allegedly, I haven't heard or seen anything in the making of.
No, there was
It's like top secret.
There was a picture, but I'm almost positive it was fake, of Denzel Washington in like gladiator style garb. But I'm almost positive it was a fake image. Just it was like a clickbaity thing that I saw on one of the websites.
Yeah, unless they're like de-aging him for a flashback scene or something.
Yeah. Do we know who he's playing? Because we know Paul Mescal is playing.
Oh yes,
playing like the kid grown up. What's his name? Julian? No. Anyway, the kid, the nephew of Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay.
I'm almost positive I heard that Paul Mescal is playing him as an adult, but we don't know. We don't know who the other characters are. At least I've read, not that I've said.
Yeah, it's all very hush hush. Oh, even at 10 a.m. it can be crowded in the red light district. How would you know, Jeff?
It was dead. We tried.
Sunday morning. We tried to pull.
It was.
Oh yeah, he's been there too. The Dutch stereotype and his clogs with his tulips and his Heineken. Is that Heineken? Is that Dutch? I can't remember now. Oh yes, Walter Holds.
Yeah. That was genuinely my ringtone for a while as well. Warriors come out to play and clink, 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 clink. back in the Nokia 6610.
Yeah, when you could get your own MP3s.
You could load up your own MP3 and have different ringtones, like for
any £2 a month or whatever it was.
Yeah. That was genuinely as well for any time one of my mates was phoning. It was it was that.
But you had the Crazy Frog as well.
No, I'd got too old by that point. Yeah,
there's plenty of idiot adults with it. Gladiators, yeah, that would have made sense. Gladiators. Oh, Michael Madsen. I liked Equalizer 3 better than I liked Equalizer 2.
I've still not seen Equalizer 3. Actually, I need to check that out. But yeah, I wasn't. I did like Equalizer 1. I wasn't that impressed with Equalizer 2, but I have heard 3 is better.
3 is more Western, but yeah, set in Italy in the small town. It's quite nice, but don't expect too much action. Hey, Mike's here. Good evening, Mike. Yes,
we are
late. So the Americans are coming in. Oh, it's time to go. There you go. Not my favorite, must admit, but yeah. So there we go. I'm caught up at last. Woof, made it.
So that was good. Although we didn't really talk. I feel like we didn't really talk that much about the movie.
A 2-hour film.
I feel like you may have engineered it that way because you don't like it.
It's all natural. It's jazz, baby. It's jazz. The Equalizer. Yes, I did a thing on it last year. The Equalizer. Early last year, I guess it was one of our 80s retrospectives.
I don't think I've seen that. I think was that. Yeah, that I didn't really start on YouTube
before our time. I think
before our time. I think I started.
But yeah, that's it. Still holds up as a great thriller TV series set in New York.
I remember. I mean, I've not watched it since it was on TV, but I do remember watching it all the time. Like I'm sure I would. I'd spend a lot of time at my grand's house, and I'd get to stay up late at my grand's. And I'm almost positive we would stay up late, and we would watch back to back. It would be an episode of The Equalizer, and then an episode of Beauty and the Beast with Linda.
I never watched that
with Linda Hamilton and Ron Perlman.
That's him. Yep.
Yeah, and I'd get to stay up until like I mean, it probably wasn't that late, but I'm sure like later than I did at home. I get to tell.
Yeah, Equalizer was like usually 9 to 10, and then probably 10:30, 11:30 for
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast.
So like I remember, yeah, exactly. That's right. Channel name, late night ITV. Well, STV.
Yes, that's it.
But it was,
Hitman and Her if you were up really late.
yeah, it was Equalizer and Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, yeah. And then the
We'll be on
other
to
one,
Christmas of Black Beach.
the other one I remember watching. This wasn't at
Nice.
McDonald's. I remember staying up late watching this with my mum every week. Was the for some reason I really liked it. The Vietnam show. What was it called?
Oh, Tour of Duty.
Tour of Duty. Yeah, like I remember.
I like the door and I want to paint it black. Yeah, that was a badass show.
Yeah, I remember watching that and really liking that. Like that was a show that I watched with my mum every week when it was on.
There you go. See, Dr. Impossible is. Yeah, it's a while back now.
Oh
yeah, Moonlighting or Midnight Caller. I did like Midnight Caller and early Moonlighting.
I don't think I know though. I mean, I've heard of Moonlighting. That's the Bruce Willis one, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen an episode of that.
No. It's a wacky
or
show, so yeah. It's not Taggart. Tour of Duty was always on. Yes, it did seem to go on every night, especially on the weekend anyway, Friday and Saturdays.
Fun fact, my brother was in an episode of Taggart.
Oh,
he had
what was he doing? Was he a body?
He was he was well, he would have been about 14 at the time.
All right.
He was he was typecast as an course, he was an underage drinker. So, yeah. Not really subverting stereotypes of Glasgow youth.
Not in the choir then.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
Spartacus, yes. I saw that for the first time properly all the way through a few years ago. Very good.
Yeah, that was one of the movies I only saw all the way through, like when I started collecting DVDs. Do you know what I really enjoyed though? The recent TV show Spartacus.
I started watching that, but then I never finished it because because I heard he died and I gave up on it.
Yeah, it's if you enjoyed the first series, it's quite tragic, quite sad the way it worked. So the actor, I can't remember.
Yeah,
and Andy something, but so he did the first series, but then he got diagnosed with leukemia, I think, and so they made a kind of prequel series that was only 6
yeah,
episodes, you know, hoping that he would make a recovery, but sadly he didn't. And then they just recast the role, and did another 2 seasons, I think. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was good. It's kind of like
nothing to do with the TNA then.
Yeah. Oh, earlier on you were talking about hanging dong. They hang dong in that show. So if you're looking to scratch that itch, you can scratch that itch by watching the TV show. Lots of man.
Yeah, I remember the TNA. I remember
lots of man show. I think literally the subheading for the last season was literally, or was it the first season? It was literally called Blood and Sand, wasn't it?
That's it, yeah, Blood and Sandals. I'm trying to think what the subtitle was, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, that was a good show. I did enjoy that, yeah.
Isn't Lucy Lawless in it?
Yes.
And she gets naked?
She does.
I'm just guessing. I've heard rumours.
There's a funny YouTube clip where she talks about getting fitted for a merkin, and I'll let you Google what that is.
Got one now.
Spartacus also starred Scotland's own John Hannah.
It does, doesn't it?
He was really good in that. Like just swinging for the fences, like just going for it, but like
hanging dong.
But like
swinging for the fences.
I don't think he hung dong in it.
Okay.
He was, even though he didn't, he was very good in it.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Spartacus was the shagging and dragons before GOT got less the dragons.
Pretty much, pretty much. Like I think the way I remember describing. So there's an Apple TV show called See with Jason Momoa, which is quite good. But I remember describing that to my friends as Game of Thrones meets Spartacus.
Oh, bloody hell!
So if that tickles your fancy, See is quite good as well. So that's an Apple TV show. The Apple
What's it called?
See, SEE.
Oh,
like it didn't. It totally didn't. Like, because I mean, it's an Apple TV show, so it's it's not promoted It's not as popular as as the other streamers, but it's a really good show. Like,
Hmm.
if you like Game of Thrones, if you like Spartacus, the TV show, it's very much in that wheelhouse.
Okay.
Um,
Because yeah, I
There's
still
only-
can't get over the difference between Jason Momoa now and Baywatch 90s Jason Momoa.
I've only seen pictures of 90s Jason Momoa in Baywatch, and you think, how is that the same person?
Yeah, that is not the same guy, is it? It's
like,
like,
that's like someone
you want to at him.
someone ate to 90s Jason Momoa,
Yeah.
current Jason Momoa. Yeah,
Right.
on Apple TV, like if there's a code going for like a 3-month trial or something like that,
Right.
which there's loads of, because I think I've only just started paying for Apple TV because I had various different codes to get 6 months free, 3 months free, 1 month free.
You're
Yeah,
Scotsman, say.
exactly. We love a good deal. We love a good deal. No, check out See on if you're looking for a show like that. It's 3 seasons, like 8 episodes a season or something like that. So it's not a huge commitment, but it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Not as good as True Romance, then.
Well, comparing a TV show to a movie, so can you really do that?
Yeah, there you go.
But no,
So, Michael
Thanks.
Masters.
thanks for joining us, Mike. Your chat was-
So yes, I'm going to. Some of us have got work tomorrow.
We do, yes. So do I actually have work
Oh.
tomorrow as well. What time is
Okay,
it?
that's good.
Yeah.
It's Friday tomorrow at least.
God, it's 11:15. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's go to bed.
Might be like 6 p.m. in America, but it's
Yeah.
bedtime, Eddie. Right. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks everyone for joining us, and have a good night, everyone.
Did you just call me Jeff?
Oh, Jeff is in the chat.
Oh, I
Jeff.
didn't. Sorry.
I will
Well,
see you, Jimmy, next time.
It might be of the name enough. I think you should remember it. Thanks very much,
All right,
Gary.
take care, everyone.